Hello out there, citizens of Gotham. It's that time of year again, one of my favorite times. It puts a smile on my face. So I want you all to stay spooky.
By now there are no more screens.
Stay spooky with chicks and spirits.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Stay Spooky with Chicks and Spirits. I am your fabulous host, Heather, and with me always is, I guess that way.
Is it that?
Yeah, it's that time.
Yeah. Well, no, I was trying to figure out the hands. Is your rattled co-host Kelly?
Yeah, you've been having some trouble, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was, I have no idea. But if
it was Kelly issues. That's why you need to be here with me. So
I don't have to deal with these tech issues. I am not a techie person.
I know.
No, I'm like, oh my God, a tech issue. Out of all things, a tech issue. It's not here.
Nice. Well, I want to give an announcement to everybody because I was talking about a giveaway that we are doing. So I want to do that announcement, and we'll do it again at the end of the show. So, our team, they do fun stuff, and they're always, donating stuff and helping out for the cause. So our team member on behalf of Chicks and Spirits, Sarah, has donated 2 tickets for us to give away on Stay Spooky for the event in Sadillac Township. So,
yay!
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And I thank her for, go ahead and doing that for us. So I think that'll be great. And it gives people an opportunity to win, something. And what we're going to do is we're going to have people, probably share Chicks and Spirits page and then send us a message that you shared the page and then your name's entered in for the drawing next week. And then during Stay Spooky next week, we'll actually draw the name live. So what do you think? How's that sound, Kel?
I think that works perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So next week, so everybody share Chicks and Spirits page. Let us know you shared it. And then your name will be entered in for the drawing to win 2 tickets to go to our Sadillac event on April 17th. So that's going to be a great event. It's a wonderful location.
Fabulous. One of the best locations I've been to. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful location. Okay, so with that being said, I'll say it again a little bit later. So if there's, more people, they can, hear what we're kind of doing. Let's bring on our guest for tonight. So we have, let me see, who's going to pop up first? Hold on, let me get this. I'm new. So Karen had to help me. We got Nathan. Hi, Nathan and Beth. How are you guys tonight?
How's it going?
It's going wonderful. Now we got Kelly on board.
Pretty good.
How are you guys tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Just hanging out. Doing what I do best, edit,
Nice. Now, before we get started in our little topic and everything, tell us a little bit about about yourself. So, Nathan, you start. Tell us a little bit about you.
Like, what do you want to know? Everything? Or
when you're a little boy, I just
right?
what you're doing right now, what you're a part of, introduce yourself how you would.
Well, those that don't know me, I'm Nathan Withers. I am a self-taught documentary filmmaker. I have about 20 years experience in the film industry and about 17 in the paranormal field. Everything I've done is self-taught, from editing to filming to everything. So, of course, the paranormal investigating, you have to self-teach yourself that. But, as far as right now, currently, I have created a brand new series that is going to be releasing, I'm hoping this year, but I can't promise anything yet because it's still in the editing process. I don't know what that's going to do yet. But we've got a new series called My Paranormal Experience that's in the making. And I have recruited Beth. But actually, Beth kind of invited herself on. She's like, dude, I have to come on. Like, I have to do something. Like, I want to do something cool. Like, something that is different. And I said, you know what? She has her TikTok stuff, and I love it. I give her crap for all the time. But,
I love TikTok.
I love it. She's good at it. But, I was like, why don't you bring your TikTok stuff to what I'm doing? This gives you the opportunity to learn the cameras, to learn the production world, as well as, like all the things, all the logistics that go into what filming an episode is about. And so she came along, and she's been with me ever since. And she's done phenomenal. We've been busy, like so busy with everything that's been going on. Other than that, that's really all I've been doing. I've been working constantly on my paranormal experience. The VIDISPACE network got bought out by a network called Cosm Streaming. And those that haven't seen the network, you guys really need to check it out. The app just launched about 2 weeks ago or so. That's an awesome cat, by the way.
He's like, I'm like, what is that? We're talking about paranormal, and all of a sudden I'm feeling.
She's like, what's going on? But no. But enough about me. Let's go to Beth or something.
Yeah, Beth, I'm excited. I love TikTok. So now I'm going to have to go follow you on TikTok since you're doing things on TikTok. I'm excited. So look for that.
Can I ask a question, though? It's animal after animal, apparently, today. So it got bought out. So if you were subscribed to the VIDISPACE, are you still subscribed to it?
That is an answer I honestly can't answer for you, or a question I can't answer for you. Okay. From what my understanding is, those that were subscribed to the network before, you have to go, I think, delete the VIDISPACE app, which it's no longer the VIDISPACE app anymore. It's Cosm. And I think you have to just restore your subscription in your settings and your Apple settings or whatever phone you got or device. You have to restore your settings or your subscription.
All right, so I'll check all that out because I didn't know.
Yeah.
It comes out. It's not that much money per month, so it comes out. You don't miss it out of your bank account. I don't pay attention. So
I do want to point out Lindsay. She is a part of the Cosm network, and she said yes, it should transfer over to Cosm.
Okay, perfect. We'll do then.
We're working on Karen. Can we get subtitles? I know she's in the shadows. I guess we're having someone having a hard time hearing. So if we can, we're working on trying to get some subtitles up, okay? So give us just a moment. Okay, if anybody else is having any hard time hearing us, just let us know in the chat. And we're going to see what we can do to get those subtitles up. But right now, we'll just talk louder. We'll try to talk louder. So I always talk pretty loud. So, okay, Beth, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've actually been involved in the paranormal probably for the past 15 years with a team, and that's where I met Nathan quite a few years back, and he kind of had this vision a couple of years ago and kept talking about it for a long time, and I loved his idea. I thought it was great. And so when he finally decided just to go for it, I was like, I want to be on board with this. This is Para-Unity, which I think is fabulous, and I've always been big on that. So I thought, this is what his show's going to be. It's going to be Para-Unity. So I was like, hey, can I work on this?
So how long have you said you've been in the paranormal field for how long?
Oh, well, about 15 years. I met them about 12 years ago and started investigating as a team, just not by. Before it was just a bunch of girlfriends going to haunted locations just for the fun of it.
Right.
So
that's what we did. We would just run around places, me and Kelly, all the time. And then we're like, hey, let's just keep doing this with more people. And it just evolved. So yeah, it always starts just running around exploring, it's fun. And it's like, hey, we could do this all the time. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, so I think we got this all worked out with the sounds. Okay, everybody's good. All right, so we're gonna go topic to. I told them I didn't research nothing. You do the research. Like, we were going to just shoot the shit all night because I was like, Callista is not with us tonight because of work situation. So, you know, she does a lot of research for us, and her trivia I'm going to miss tonight. So, but I get it. You know, work. You know, sometimes your schedules, they keep you longer than what it's being expected. So that's why Callista's not on with us tonight. But what do you got, Kelly? So we can get talking here about some demons.
Just Kelly.
Just
Not
Kelly.
quite Callista, just Kelly. No.
Yeah, I didn't study, and we're waiting to hear from you, and then we're going to give you our feedback on stuff. So that's how tonight's going to go, Cal. You guys like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sounds good to me.
I got some good stuff. So, yeah,
All right.
That's fine with me.
Go ahead.
So obviously we're doing demons and possession, right? So,
And
you know, there's
exorcisms.
and exorcisms, right? So they kind of go hand in hand the majority of the time. So has anybody heard of the demon house?
I have.
Do you guys
I
know
have
what the
too.
demon house is?
Isn't that the thing
Greg
that?
Megan's film, and
Yes.
I will honestly tell you, it's one of the most incredible, most beautiful documentaries I have ever seen in my entire life. I will openly admit that right now.
I enjoyed that too.
To me, that's what a documentary is supposed to look like.
Yeah, and you know, they did really, you know, give them some, you know, slack over it. There were people that were like, oh, you know, but you're always going to have your critics. I loved it. So very interesting thing though, LaToya, 32-year-old mother of 3, claimed to be possessed by demons. For those of you who don't know what the demon house is, there were reports that her 9-year-old boy was saw not just by the mother, but by a hospital nurse and case manager crawling or walking backward up a wall while they were in the room. Could you imagine that? Your 9-year-old kid starting to walk backward up a wall. How insane is that?
I'd have to throw the whole kid out.
I think there's like over 800 pages of official records, from child services to psychologists to police officers, being called out to the home. I mean, just tons of documentation that, you know, revolves around what was going on at this house and with these children. There were reports of the 12-year-old actually levitating over her bed. Just really crazy, creepy things. And, you know, finally, they came in, they did some exorcisms, they moved out of the home and didn't have any issues, which actually Zach ended up buying that house. And then he plowed it down. I think it was 2016 or something, totally leveled the house. The house is gone now because it was that.
It still stays to the land. I mean, what's your thought on that, Beth?
I think there's a possibility. I think there is a possibility. It's kind of hard to say because I would think. I mean, I think the land itself can be haunted, but it also could just be the inhabitants of the home. But hopefully it's gone. You know, I think there's a chance it could still be there because I mean, do we know really actually what kind of evil spirit created all the problems in the first place?
Right. Because I feel like stuff is held to land. So I feel like you could just rebuild, and it's still going to be there. But that's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
So, yeah, because it's like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, why would if it can go? It's just that house. I mean, I don't know. That's just my theory. Let's see. We got Rusty, Central Paranormalist. Didn't the 9-year-old say he felt like it was like to be killed based on what was happening there? I'm not sure.
Yes, the 9-year-old was explaining to people, this is really interesting, you guys, because I'm doing my research. I have my grandson here, my poor grandson, for school, and I know, right? He's taking a test, and then it's time for his break, and he says, you know, Nana, what are you doing? And I said, I'm researching, and so he kind of leans over my shoulder, and he's reading what I wrote, and he said, a 9-year-old, and he's 9.
Good gravy, Kelly.
Right? It was explaining what it felt like to be killed. He's like, so was he killed? I'm like, no, he was just saying what it felt like. And he's like, you know why he did that, right? And I was like, no, but I'm interested now. And he's like, because it wasn't him talking. This is my 9-year-old. It wasn't him talking. I said, so what? It was the spirit he was possessed by talking and explaining it. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, that sounds pretty rational.
Right. But
so,
at the same time, like,
maybe it was a spirit who had been killed, who is now taken over the body. Maybe not necessarily demonic, explaining this is what it's like to be killed. This is what you feel like. This is, I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear the 9-year-old's explanation of being killed. I don't know how graphic it was. I don't know what was said, but yeah, very interesting stuff.
what do you think, Nathan?
You know, I can honestly tell you, whenever Demon House first came out, I was all over it because it's something I was wanting to watch forever. I heard about Zach talking about it, you know, and Dave Schrader was talking about it. You know, the whole media was talking about it for years. And when I first watched the intro and he states that this film is cursed, like after watching that, you know, I firmly believe that everything that went on in that case is legit. You know, he had literally video clips, original raw file video clips from the police department, from Child Protective Services, the captain, that police officer that he was talking, that was interviewing down in the basement. He had all these eyewitnesses that were validating these claims. For a person to be able to document that much, you know, activity, that much, those interviews and all those testimonies, you can't really argue with the facts. You just can't.
No.
You know,
Right.
And if it were me and I was involved in a case like that, seeing the amount of credible people involved in a case like that, I'm not arguing with it. Would I investigate it? Oh yeah. Who wouldn't? I mean, I would love to. I would love to investigate a case like that. That's just me though. But coming from a documentarian's point of view, I'm all over it. I want to document that kind of thing, and I would make a feature film out of it. That's just the filmmaker in my blood to do something like that. But I definitely believe, like, I'm going to go back to what you said, Heather. You know, you believe it's on the grounds. It's saturated on the grounds. I feel like whatever happened in that house, whoever opened those doors, whatever rituals or demonic practices were done in that house, because even, you know, he even states in the film there are items that are down and under the basement stairs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, there was a bunch of weird things that were put in a sacrifice type of ritual, and all of a sudden the basement becomes demonically infested. The entire house becomes an infestation of demons, and the blinds began to drip this liquidy fluid that when people would touch it, it would turn their hand completely white, and it made it to where they couldn't even feel their hands. And every person that came and left the house had permanent after effects. Dr. Barry Taff, he had his organs shut down instantaneously within going in the house. Their camera guy faced attachments afterwards. Who was it? Zach had his eye issue after it happened. After the shadow figure shot across the hallway floor or the living room floor, he threw his phone thinking he was going to hit the spirit, which I'm not bashing Zach. I'm just saying, from what I saw, he threw his cell phone at it, and immediately after, his eyes started to make these like weird things, like twitches and stuff like that. And now he results in double vision. To me, that's a demonic force. That's a demonic infestation. And I'm not sure if the listeners here have seen the lost footage episode, but if y'all haven't, you need to look it up, because those are things that were not featured in the original documentary. And that is terrifying night vision evidence.
Now, Rusty's saying, my issue with the, Zach and the house is, if it's that bad, basically, why would you take the stuff to your museum? My thing with that is maybe because it's a museum, it's not from the documentary. People would still like to see that. Whether he thinks anything's possessed with those items, I don't know. But I think it's to land. I don't think it would travel with the items. I think maybe he just wanted to, in my opinion, if I had a museum and I made a documentary, I would take stuff. So people would be like, oh, I remember seeing that in the documentary and just having it in the museum for something cool to see. That's my opinion on that. I'm not sure.
I mean, there's the other thing where there are certain spells that you can do that can bind it. I don't know who Zach knows. I don't know what he knows exactly when it comes to certain things. They're not really satanic rituals, if you will. You know, they're sometimes even overseen by priests. You know, you have Catholic rituals, you have Wiccan rituals, things that you can do to kind of bind the evil in the object. So maybe he did that and felt safe with that. You know what I mean?
Just like Annabelle, don't they have a spell? They keep her locked up. The Robert the doll, they keep them cased, and they have something where, you know what I mean? So I guess there is items that it's not like I don't believe items can't be attached. I just really feel land-based on a lot of things. So when it comes to that particular house and what took place there, it just seems very land-based to me. So I don't know, but that's my opinion. But I really do like that documentary and everything that, you know, it was very interesting. Very well done. It was. Let me see. Now, hold on. Let me check out this. Like that, laying it back down. This was sure about that. Let's see. Yeah, I guess people, you know, have their own experiences when it comes to spirits and stuff like that. So now, I remember up in this chat, let me see, where somebody was mentioning where people wouldn't even talk to Zach because they were afraid that he was going to, if they started talking about it, it would stir it up and bring it back to there you go. Okay, Sarah. Thank you. Karen's so good. So it would bring them back to that location. So that is pretty wild that someone's like, I don't even want to talk to you because you're going to just bring, you know, Demon John to my house. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, the people are experiencing something. Then it's like where a lot of people want to doubt possessions and stuff like that. I mean, something's happening to these people. You know what I mean? What do you call it? I don't know. So,
well, and I think what Nathan said, though, the amount of credible witnesses, these are not people that are just notorious for making things up. In fact, these people have careers that they every single day they're using scientific explanation for everything. They are breaking everything down. No, that didn't really happen. That's not a rational thought process. Everything is based on a rational thought process. These are not people who are just going to make things up. You know what I mean? Right. If it happened and they're saying it happened, it happens. Period.
Right. Because when you go and you lie on stuff like that, I mean, especially when you have a good job, I mean, people, you're taking the risk.
Your career is based on honesty, integrity. I mean, that's your character. That's who you are day in and day out. They're not going to make it up. No way, no how.
Now, I haven't seen this documentary in a while. Since we got exorcism in this, was any exorcisms taking place at this house or anything like that brought in?
Yeah, there was, let me get his name. The priest, Michael Maganat. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, priest Michael Maganat.
Yeah, they did the exorcisms, were performed on the family, and they were the first authorized by the bishop of the Catholic Church Diocese of Gary, and this priest 21 years. So in 21 years, this is the first time that they authorized exorcisms. So even the Catholic Church obviously truly believed that there was possession going on, that there were demons in the home. Wow. Now, whether they exorcised it completely from the home, I don't know. You know, if they're still there. I mean, there was a reason why Zach just completely wanted to level everything. It would be interesting to go back and or to have him go back or maybe he doesn't want to, but somebody go back and just see, is it the land? See if there's contact. You know what I mean?
If I may add, at the end, close to the end of the film, after all these people that visited the house had these after effects, permanent after effects, what That was weird. I just saw something like fly in front of your face.
What was that? Was that here?
I don't know, but I saw something fly right in front of your face as you were
You know
talking
what?
about that.
You guys, you don't even want to know about the stuff that goes on in this house.
That was weird.
It's very weird.
Go ahead.
Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about now. I totally forgot what I was talking about.
I'm sorry. My heart's pounding out my
you're
chest
good.
right now. So,
well, we'll go to let me take a look at something. So is there anything that can help? And I think there's something following me and I spoke a different way. Now, when it comes to that, I would reach out to like a shaman or a psychic. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I'm just a paranormal investigator over here to be able to decide if something is attached to you. I mean, I wouldn't be, the best person you're going to go to for that. Beth, can you answer that question?
Well, I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you about this experience.
Go ahead.
Because that's exactly what she's talking about. This happened to me. We had an investigation at a funeral home. I think it was sometime in the fall. And this lady contacted a team that we were with at the time and said that her daughter, she's buying this house. It was a funeral home that she's buying, and her daughter's going to live in it. So she wanted us to come in and see if there was, anything just hanging around or whatever. So we said, well, heck yeah, let's go, funeral home. Anyway, so we get there. I don't know how long we had been there, but we were in like what we call command center, or just where we have our DVR system and everything set up. I excused myself to go to the restroom. I went to the restroom, and when I was leaving, the last thing I remember is turning off the light in the bathroom. And then I disappeared from the team for 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I don't remember it. That, like I said, the last thing I remember is just turn the light off to walk out of the bathroom, and then it's like I black out.
That's scary.
Yes, I went into where the viewing room used to be, and I just set myself down. Apparently I recorded this. It's all on EVP, all recorded. Set my phone down, and it's like I was in a dreamlike state. This is all I can remember from this, what happened to me. A dreamlike state, and almost kind of like, I don't explain it any way else, but kind of like an underwater feeling. And I was sitting on the floor, and to the right of the room that I was in was a doorway which went to where they would embalm people.
Mm-hmm.
A woman walks in through the doorway in 50s dress. She had a long gray skirt on, a white shirt buttoned up, and a ponytail. I mean, you could have told that this was the era she was from. And I proceeded to have a conversation with her. She let me know that she was 25 years old when she passed away, and she had drowned.
Mm.
So, I mean, I don't remember all of it, because it was a very odd experience.
Right.
But my team members were looking for me for like 45 minutes. I mean, after they realized I was gone, they were looking everywhere for me and screaming and yelling. You could hear them on the DVR system or the cameras and everything, yelling my name, and I was not responding at all. So we get back, they get me back to the command center, and I play it back. This voice is not my voice.
Oh, wow.
It was me talking, and I was telling somebody something. We didn't get any EVP, but you could tell that I was carrying on a conversation with someone, and my voice was not my voice. It was
wow.
completely different. It was someone else's.
And that's cool to catch, but then terrifying. You know what I mean? It's like when it's like you, and I had an attachment for many years, like since I was a child, and it just was figured out like about 2 years ago. And I mean, I had to get a whole bunch of people in it. Like, that's why I referenced the shaman to this, to Chelsea, because, that's what I needed to help me with this attachment, because it was a negative attachment to me. And, I mean, it was crazy, the stuff that went down, but I had to have a psychic involved. And I mean, it's not so easy just to get an attachment off of you. There's a whole lot that goes into it, especially when it's like almost like you've grown up with it. You know what I mean? And it seems normal to you, but then the things, when you start speaking of things that are happening, people are like, well, that's not normal at all. And then it was like, finally, when people tapped in, it come to find out it was like my great grandfather, and it was not a good person. That was not a good man. And the things that were happening were just, it was going to end bad. And it was trying to end bad most of my life, but I was able to have control. But when it took a lot to get rid of it. And I'm thankful to the people that helped me, but it's very scary when you have an attachment. So, yeah, I'll reach out to, you touch base with you. Let's see, Chelsea Sharps, the woman. Let's see. I'll reach out to you, and I can maybe get you in touch with the people that helped me.
Okay.
And we could go from there, and we can help her as well. So, because it seems like she's having a lot of attachment issues as well. That seems very scary. So, yeah, possessions are scary. You know what I mean? Like, where do they come from? I mean, that's why, like, myself, I won't, because people are like, oh, will you stay the night in a haunted place? And it was told to me by a psychic that you shouldn't stay the night in a haunted place and sleep there because your guards are down. And like, if you're susceptible to attachments or anything like that, you don't want to like have that where you're vulnerable, you know? So that's why I no longer, after I got rid of mine, won't sleep. And I'll stay there as long as I can, but I'm on guard, you know what I mean? And then I'm not going to sleep in there, no way. So yeah, I know this, one of our teammates actually lived in a house that had some very unusual stuff happening there. And we're hoping to piece all of that together. And hey, maybe Nathan, you can help me with this. I'd like to make a documentary on this. I have a lot of footage, and it's, I mean, the people from Eloise were so terrified of this. They came out with us to see this house, and they're in Eloise Mental Hospital. And they, after a couple hours, I seen them packing their stuff, and they're like, "We're out of here. Like, this is too much."
Let's just all work on it together and put it on the My Paranormal Experience series. It'll be y'all's episode.
Oh yeah, I'll touch base with you because I
awesome.
got a lot of great stuff that happened at that house. We were in there for 25 days, and wow, a lot of cool stuff. So, yeah. But we'll touch base after. What, Kelly?
But you have some episodes of the Paranormal Experience, right? That was the name of.
Yes. Well, it's hard to say because right now the entire series is being revamped. It's being restructured and everything.
So we can pretend like I said nothing.
Well, no, that's okay. Like, I want people to get an idea because there are 3 sample episodes on Cosm right now.
And I thought you did a fabulous job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I watched all of them, and then I was like disappointed because I only had 3. I literally am.
I know.
Anymore. Somewhere.
There was a point in time where my wife was like, "You need to make these longer. Like, I know you wanted to be a short film series, but people are getting into it right at 15 minutes, and it's over." So I reached out to all of our fans about it on our page, and the feedback was phenomenal. We got constructive criticism. They said, yeah, we love the show, but we would like to see more of the story. We'd like to see more, even investigation involved, or, actual evidence. We had actual evidence in a lot of the things we did. Matter of fact, the first episode was our camera guy. And the house that he was at was the exact house we experienced our first experiences at as kids. We got permission by the homeowner to go back and just retell our story, from our point of view at the exact house where the exact spots we're at. Mm-hmm. So, those sample videos are there. They're not going anywhere. Matter of fact, they're probably going to be involved in the new series. They'll be put somewhere in there, but you guys are more than welcome to go watch them. Let me know your feedback. I would love to hear it. I can handle the bad ones, I promise. So
you got to be able to take constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
You do to become better.
Absolutely.
If you can't, you'll never succeed. So that's always good.
Beth got the opportunity to come over to my house the other day. We did some interviews for the series for the very, very beginning, and she got to see how editing is done. She got to see how the editing process took place and then the current progress with our first episode. So she got to see that, plus all the evidence reveal. And I think what I'm really excited about is not only will this series be bringing everyday people like you guys and I to share anything that they've experienced in life, but we're getting to go in some of these places that they've had these experiences and to validate their hauntings. Mm-hmm. And the place that we got to go investigate, we were brought in by a former city marshal of the town that we were in. Mm. And he approached me during one of my film gigs one day. He says, "Hey, dude, I know you do the paranormal stuff." He goes, "You're going to think I'm crazy, but you have to go to this location. There is something going on. I don't know what it is, but I need you to go there." So let's fast forward pretty much a year later. He got us in. We did what, 2 times, Beth? We went and investigated. And we're still not done. And we captured some stuff. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it before. And when we showed the secretary that works at this building, she was mind blown. And Beth showed me some footage on a night vision camera that she was filming that I didn't get a chance to review. And I was blown away because I was like, why didn't I review this before? You know?
I told him to. I said,
I know.
Go back and watch that, because whenever it happened, I kind of don't know if he wants to say it until the episode, but
you can tell it. I don't care.
When what happened, it was an orb. We were in like a locker room area, and we had been talking about hearing noises in a gym that was out just on the other side of the wall. But anyways, he was just talking about what is, spirits do. How do they create their energy after they, to show themselves, to manifest, and kind of was just talking about that. And you see, we're not big on orbs. We're not like, oh my God, orbs.
Right.
This one was like, completely round, and it emanated its own light. It kind of, did the flicker thing, as it came closer to the camera, but it came from the way of the gym and went up to Nathan and then bounced off, and I followed it with my camera, and you see it disappear.
Wow.
And then he talks about like maybe another minute or two, and you see it come from behind his back and go into his chest.
Wow.
That's a good one.
The question that I had asked to kind of clarify this was, hey, Beth, come film me, because I have some questions I want to ask. I just want to see if I'll get a response from it. Because everyone's always like, if you're here, give me a sign. They're always using the same questions. Right. So I wanted to mix up the questions, say, hey, what happens to your energy after you pass? Can you show me how your energy manifests? And not even 30 seconds later, Beth captures this thing that literally starts in pea size, and then it forms into a humongous, perfect circle, pulsating ball of light. And when I saw that, I was like, there's no denying what this is. So
very next day, I said, go back and look at that yet? No, I haven't gotten to yet. I will. And he didn't look at it until this last weekend. I was over there, and he watched it, and he was like, oh my gosh. But I said, I told you to look at that. So,
Nathan, did you have any feelings after the orb or was thrown at you? Did you feel it when it went into you, or you just seen it?
No, I didn't see anything. Beth captured it. I was actually too busy trying to investigate, ask the questions. I just took her word for it. And
nothing.
I didn't feel anything until we got to the gym. And when we got to the gym, I'm going to save this for the episode, but I will tell you what I felt after this happened.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We captured a visual. I will say that we captured something very crazy visually that I didn't even think we captured to begin with. But we started having audio interference really bad with our wireless system. Well, I hear these loud boot steps coming from the gym area, coming straight toward me, and I froze. I literally froze in time. I did this, and I couldn't move. And Beth is like, dude, you're frozen. I go,
frozen in time.
Yeah.
Ever. He was so in shock that, you're not even paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Oh, I've had that happen before, and it's a weird feeling. It's
I'll tell y'all what.
You.
After this show, if y'all would like me to, I will send both of you the clips of our evidence so you can see it for yourself.
Hell's yes.
Yes,
I'll do that.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that. And orbs, like you said, I've not jazzed up on orbs either, unless it's like something like that, where you watch it follow around, like, because you know, you go into something and there's everyone's like orbs everywhere, and it's like we're in a dusty ass
right.
So like when it's actual, like you know, you watch it and you see it move and the lights and it's perfect and it's like doing something. Like we have a teammate that showed us you know, what's good for it a lot is those like ring cams or the little security cams will get something weird, and you watch it come in it comes through the door, and it just like the way it manifests, it's so insane that it's like, okay, I do like that one. So,
right. No, yeah. Like this wasn't an orb. This was a ball of energy. Like there's a big difference. To me, there's a big difference. An orb can be anything, you know, but this was solid. I mean, there was no denying what this was.
Well, and it was like intelligent movement. Like, like right before that happened, a bug went down and zooped over his head, but you can obviously tell what that was. It was completely.
And you can like you can pause your camera, go back. You can see the wings of a bug. You can figure that out. It's a bug.
Definitely.
And debunk it if you need to. And dust is dust. I mean, dust is gonna fall. Like, I mean, there's something going up by Kelly right there. I don't know what that was.
I don't either, man.
I don't know. That was, and then I didn't know if it was like.
No, it just happened right now. It just happened.
Again? It's dust, guys. Oh my gosh! Hold on. It scared the little crap out of me.
I'm around her back like that earlier was kind of crazy.
And yeah, so I don't know if she does really good. So we're gonna have to rewatch that and see if so because I'm sitting there, we're talking about orbs, all of a sudden I see something come out of her and I'm like, that was fun. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that clip. I like exclusives. But yeah,
Definitely.
I like there was another one where I seen someone else, Matt Warner. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He had an orb situation, and I was so in love with this shot. It was like he was sleeping, and it did this thing where it came out of the wall. It moved around, and it like went into him, and then it came out, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" Like that was like, to me, legit, because it was like it was doing something. It was like, as much as it sounds weird to say, it's thinking. You can almost tell the way the movement that it almost is. You know what I mean? So those are very interesting when I see clips like that. So I'm excited about that. And good thing you didn't get possessed.
No, yeah, like whenever she showed me the ball of energy, whatever it was, that came out, like from around me, and like went in me, I didn't know what to think. I was like, well, I didn't feel anything. Like I didn't feel any after effects. I didn't feel tired, lethargic. I didn't feel anything. So, like, but I will tell you, you know, one of the main reasons why I love that we're doing this series, you know, is we're getting to prove whether or not, you know, we're trying to find our own proof of what they're going through.
Right.
And I'm never going to call someone a liar. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, I believe everyone has a paranormal story. If they've experienced one, I believe it because I've experienced it, Beth's experienced it, and y'all have experienced it.
Oh, for sure.
You know. And if they have evidence to back it up, I would love to use it. You know, that's amazing to me. Like that to me is more like reenactments are good. Like those are good to add for a better visual on things. But if you've got actual proof of evidence from investigations, that's even further confirmation. Oh yeah, okay, so they're not lying. Like this is legit.
Well, not only that, it's like if we can find proof, then they're like, okay, well then I'm not crazy. And I like to do that. I don't want people to think that they're imagining this stuff. Like, you know, if we can investigate and find some kind of proof, you're not crazy. It's happening, you know, with hot stuff. So.
And just like Sarah said, so many times she said, I know this sounds crazy, and we hear it, you know, now that, you know, we do what we do, you know, that's like the biggest term that people say when they're talking to us. You know, you're going to think I'm crazy. And I'm like, right. I investigate ghosts. There's nothing you can say to me that will make me think you're crazy. Like, right. How am I to tell anybody what they're experiencing? And I've always been like that. Like, if someone's saying, who am I to say that didn't happen to you?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you experienced something. Something happened to you. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit there like, I'll try to find a rational solution for it. Of course, you know what I mean, to help people out. But I'm not going to say, oh, that. No, I'm out here investigating ghosts. Like I just.
Right, I'm with you there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can debunk, like, okay, for Scotty is our camera guy, but he's also very skeptical, and I feel like he's our debunker. I mean, as all of us are debunkers, but I feel like he will find the problem of what looks like a spirit, an orb, or a mist-like figure that we might have caught on camera. He's going to find that if he can. And there was, matter of fact, before we even started shooting a bunch of like episodes for the series, we went out and did a test run with our audio equipment. I got a new camera, and we were filming with it, and I had my night vision on with audio. And so we went out to a house, investigated, just him and I testing it, strictly a test. And we thought we heard some noises from our recorder that we didn't make. Well, it turns out, he says, no, wait a second. I'm going to just check this real quick. Well, it sounded like we caught a whistle on the recorder. Like a loud, just a real squeaky whistle. Mm-hmm. But it turns out, we went back on the footage, and he actually looks at the footage. He goes, I can't tell from the footage. So he goes upstairs, and he shuts all the doors, and they don't make any noise. He shuts the bathroom door. It made that whistle sound. And he goes, oh, found it. Debunked.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to have people that are there to do that, though, because you want to disprove something. So when you do find something that nobody can disprove, you're like, I love it. And that's a good moment. So, okay, question. You guys, we'll have Beth take this question. Is using a spirit box at home safe by yourself? What do you think about that one?
I personally wouldn't at my home. I have 4 children in my home, and I try to, to cleanse myself before I even come back home from an investigation. So I personally wouldn't. Now, if I felt like my home was haunted, I can't say that I wouldn't, because I'd want to get some answers, but I wouldn't just for fun. But if I wanted some answers and it was getting bad enough and I needed to know who or what was going on, maybe. But by yourself, I don't know. That's kind of your call. I've never used one by myself. I've always had either a friend or a teammate with me. So
I wouldn't either. I just feel like it's like, to me, I'm just not trying to pull nothing in my home. Right. No, I'm just like, I'm good. But I had a team member before, and she's like, oh, weird stuff's happening at my house. And I said, what, was it recent? She's like, yeah. I said, are you using your stuff in your house? And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, you're probably calling shit there. Like, like maybe you just shouldn't, then all of a sudden we're talking and a picture falls off her wall. She's like, see? And I'm like, I don't use shit in my house, so no, I don't see. Like, I go there, I leave it there, and I try not to, I say a whole thing before I even come home to make sure it doesn't come back with me. So I wouldn't, personally.
Yeah. I mean, we had a couple of years ago, right around the first time that I started investigating with Nathan, the team that we were on at that time, we actually had a case where nothing was really going on into the home until the teenagers in the home started using a Ouija board, and they weren't maybe they weren't closing it out properly and leaving it open. I don't know what the case was, but there was nothing going on in the home until that was brought in the home. I'm not knocking Ouija boards. I'm not against them. I'm just saying maybe they were using them improperly and just not closing out, but it caused a lot of problems in the home. So I really think you should know also what you are using and what you could possibly be bringing in on yourself.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you got a ghost floating around saying your name now.
Right.
You got to be careful.
Right.
Sydney, she wants something to happen to her. She's the opposite. Almost nothing has happened to me. I want something to happen.
I got a friend like that. Matter of fact, we just interviewed one of our good friends, Christy Ladd. She's going to be a part of our episode. She's one of the subjects that we covered that is probably one of my favorite interviews we've done. Not just because she told a story, but, she told her daughter's stories. Her 2 twin daughters went through some very I want to say terrifying experiences that they have never told anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And they trusted me to allow it to be on camera. And I mean, I'm not going to say what I'm going to let that be revealed in the episode, but whenever they got on camera and they started talking, they immediately like started tearing up. And the sister behind the scenes, while, I'm monitoring audio, my other buddy's monitoring audio, we're looking at them and she's bawling because like they're revisiting that experience all over again. And it happened nearly a decade ago.
Yeah.
So it's just, and she's so like, I believe in it so much that I want to experience it, but nothing has ever happened to me. And I'm like, well, that's the thing. Like, you want it to happen so badly, it's not going to. It's when you least expect it to happen is when it's going to happen to you. That's how it always works.
Yeah, you gotta
From my experience.
Just let it be. I mean, sometimes you just sit there and it's just like when you're looking for something in your house and you're like, I know I put this there, and don't find it. And then when you don't need it, you find it. It's kind of like that kind of situation. It's like, just be patient, go into these places, and eventually, you open yourself up, it'll happen. And then you might be like, oh shit.
Have a ritual, I guess, before an investigation. I shut myself in my bedroom while I'm getting ready. I actually light some incense while I'm doing my hair, and just try to be real calm and just level myself out to where kind of dismiss all the negativity from the day, and just kind of get yourself centered before an investigation. I think maybe even if you believe in that, in some prayer protection as well. But I like to do that, and I feel like sometimes when I can really get myself to be calm before an investigation, if there is spirit that's going to show up at that investigation, stuff usually kind of it tends to come around me and start to happen. So
I realized, like, when I was started going into investigations, I would arm myself with lots of crystals, and whether or not people want to believe or whatever, it's the fact that I believed that these crystals were protecting me, so nothing would happen to me. And I started like back up on my shield a little bit, like, let me take some of these armors off of me, and it opens you up a little bit more. So it's kind of like what you believe too when you're going into things, right? You know what I mean? So however people want to do that. Let's see, give me just a second. Our chat is lighting up, you guys. Let's see. My little girl had lots of experience, and that's in that one house I'm talking about that I want to touch base with you about, Nathan. Kids, I feel, are very, open to that kind of stuff. Kids aren't closed up like adults are. So kids are going to be more, susceptible to that kind of stuff. So when a kid tells me they see something, I believe them.
No, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And
it was all over their face. Like when I was interviewing them, like it took a lot to get them to agree to do it, and I know they're kids and I know they're teenagers, but, over the phone, even I was having a phone conversation with her and their mother, she was like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to talk about this. And finally she agreed to do it, and just the emotion in her voice and the facial expressions she was making, she knew exact details of what this thing looked like that she saw, how everything was to present day. Now, it's been forever ago, and she still remembers it, and it still bothers her. It still has an effect on her. Right. When she talked about it, it makes her shake. Like, she freaks out about it. Like, she's like, I feel like if I talk about this too much, it's going to know I'm talking about it. Mm-hmm. And so it's just one of those things to where I believe them. I don't care what anyone says on this. I believe it.
I actually probably believe whatever. I don't know what they saw, but I can tell you I was on Animal Podcast with you before when I had told the story about what I call the demon when I was little, or the devil. Till this day, I'm not going to say how old I am, but when I start to talk about the story, I can feel my heart just start to pound out of my chest, and I'm filled with this anxiety. And there is always this feeling like, if I talk about it, is it going to come back? when something like that happens to you as a kid, it is terrifying, like terrifying to the soul. It was horrifying. And I still to this day have no idea what this thing was. I do research upon research. I've looked into the incubus and is it that? Does that sound more like it? I've looked at every picture I can possibly see, and it doesn't depict it exactly. Like some things look similar, but not exactly. So I don't know what they've seen, but I believe those girls without even seeing it. Just based on what you've said, I believe them without doubt.
Yeah. And like, I'm going to touch base on our opening intro. I'm not going to give out any details on it, but I will say this. The opening intro, instead of putting credits, like, people's names, the producers, all that stuff, it had its voiceovers of people talking about what they experienced. And
That's
those
awesome.
girls are actually visually in the screen, and the mother's in the screen too. Like everyone's showcased, but like there's just voiceovers of things everywhere. And the fact that those two girls are in it, like they had to be, because they were like that inspired me. Hearing their story, it really touched my heart, and I could feel what they felt. Like I've never had that before. Whenever I see someone tell me something so real, and I can feel their emotion like deep inside, I'm like, oh my God, this is deep for them. And I was honored to be a part of something like that. Like, that doesn't happen all the time.
Now, did you feel like after you talked to them, I mean, I know I don't want to dig too much into your stuff.
You're fine.
Was there resolutions for them? Like being able to just speak it out? Did they find some clarity or anything like that? Or was it still
closure?
Yeah, something.
Honestly, I don't think they did. I think they finally found out. Well, I think it was their mother that was like, no. She finally believed them. And after they saw this thing, they finally were able to move out of the house. But whatever it was, it lingered with them for a while. And I can't say for sure if they ever found closure. And I think they found closure in their own way, maybe. But as far as answers go, like to what it was and why it was doing it, I don't know. I have no clue. I would love to find out someday.
Maybe like follow back up with them, do like an update, and see how after the documentary and after your episode and they spoke to you, how do they feel now? Do they feel like there's some closure? I would like to know.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What exactly was it doing to them? I mean, I know you don't want to give it away.
It was making, I think it's their oldest daughter, have these negative thoughts about her younger daughter, about her younger sister. I will say this is what got me a little freaked out. This I will tell the audience. The mother described it from the daughter's point of view when she told the story. It had really long fingers, and it trickled its fingers around the door frame. That's all I can really say.
You said a lot.
I know, but I mean that's too much. But that's what got me like, oh God, like that. Just the way she said it, I was like, oh.
When is this going to come out? When are you going to be done filming all of this?
Honestly, I'm in the editing session as of right now. We just started editing about I don't know 2 or 3 weeks ago. But we're constantly filming episodes. Like we're constantly filming interviews because I want to have as many episodes and people done as I can. Because, like I said, there's big news coming about it. There's some things that are trying to get done with it. But regardless of what we're doing with it, we're always filming different people, and people are always welcome to be on the show. I don't care what the story is. We want it.
Right. No, that's good. All right, we're about winding down. Wow, this went fast. This was a fast hour.
Yeah, I still have like all kinds of stuff. Like tons of topics.
Let's keep talking.
Let's keep talking. Go ahead.
Man, I'm here.
On every show. I don't have to really research anything. I just do. I mean, bam, did you see that? I said Demon House, and Nathan, you just took it. I was
well, what else? Oh, I did research. I did.
Oh, I got all kinds of things.
I researched a little bit that I found out that there's an actual exorcism hotline. I thought that was very fascinating because I was looking up exorcisms, and yeah, I mean, we can keep going a little bit longer. It is, you know, we don't have to be on a time clock. But so on exorcisms, I was going through like each, you know, religion has their own view and way of doing exorcisms, and you know, the fact that there's a hotline is pretty insane to me. And in the Chinese religion, we're saying how they do an exorcism. They actually make it like a parade along the city. And that's how they do an exorcism. And, you know, the Christian faith does it their way. And then I was looking up where in the ancient days, and I was talking to Kelly about this, like, oh, my God, they used to surgically drill in the head and make a hole because they feel like it's going to release the demons out of their head. And I'm like, good gravy. That's rough.
That's pretty medieval.
It is medieval. Like,
yes.
I did see a comment here I want to address real quick. Chelsea Sharps.
Let me see. Yes.
She said, it would be amazing for Nathan to do a thing on me. It would be cool to tell my story. Let's do it. I mean,
yeah,
why not?
She seems like she's got some stuff going on over there. So definitely we will have Nathan reach out to you. I'm going to reach out to you as well and figure out, you know, what's happening with you, because that's sounds very intense experiences over there. So definitely we'll be in touch. But like right after the show, I'm probably going to reach right out to her. So as well. So we'll both be in touch because I want to hear about her story as well.
Is Chelsea from Michigan or?
I'm not sure. Chelsea, are you from Michigan or where are you from? I'd like to get her some help for sure because she seems like she's got some stuff going on over there. And I have a couple people I can get her in touch with. So we'll wait for her to respond. Yeah, if she's in Michigan, well, I'm ready to go right over there and help her. I don't like people that have to go through things like this. It's scary. You know what I mean? So it can be very, you know, damaging. Okay.
So maybe we'll like have you guys on for like another show, like, and do like the incubus and succubus. Have you guys ever looked into them?
No.
I have.
I've heard of what they do, but I've never experienced it.
Okay. I have got some like 2 cases that are so interesting, and they're both young males, so it has to do with the succubus. Both young males. One was an 18-year-old, one was a 23-year-old.
Tell the story right now.
They're long stories, though. They're kind of like, I mean, we might be on until, you know, like 9 o'clock on that subject. So I don't know if you really want me to do that. But yeah, very interesting stuff where it makes you start to wonder if people who are diagnosed with schizophrenia are really schizophrenic. The 18-year-old had absolutely no family history of schizophrenia, mental disorders, came from your average middle-class family, was active in school, had a lot of friends, and all of a sudden he starts experiencing, he goes to go to bed at night and he starts feeling, he describes it first as like a vibration, like this feeling coming up like his legs, and then this what looks like, he said, a very attractive woman, like a female, appears, and then she starts doing something to him sexually, right? She starts, you know, and he ends up, you know, orgasming, whatever. But afterwards, he says he felt very guilty, very like weird, like, and then just like, what the hell just happened? Well, then this continues to happen night after night after night. All of a sudden, he's becoming antisocial. He's kind of not wanting to shower himself. He's not sleeping at night, never had any history of insomnia, sleep terrors, anything like that. And so finally, he ends up telling his mom. Mom takes him to a psychologist. He tells a psychologist. And of course, the psychologist thinks that he's crazy. And he is telling him, like, I feel it. I see it. Like, I actually feel this. I can feel this happening to me. And so Eventually, they ended up prescribing him a medication. He's still having what they called the delusions. They prescribed this went on for 3 years. They end up prescribing a different medication. Finally, they just go away. Was it the medication? They don't know, because then after that, he has no more delusions, but he will not say that they weren't real, because to him, they felt real. And that's just one case study. There's thousands of them, thousands, millions of reports of this happening with different people. So some speculate sleep paralysis, and this is why this happens, and the conscious mind. But then why are they all hallucinating and having the same hallucination? You know what I mean? Like the Son of Sam talked to a dog. Not every serial killer talked to a dog, right? So, why the same hallucination over and over and over again? And then with the incubus, that's the male co-partner of the succubus, or however you say her name. Women have reported same like things to happen. And then there's theorists who theorize that they're actually aliens disguised as demons and come from a different star planet and blah, 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 blah. It can keep going and going and going. But,
oh, yeah. I mean, there's...
And then you have like a foul smell and, so.
Lots of... That's very interesting. It's a whole lot.
Yeah, isn't that?
Let's see. Karen says, I know a male who had an experience, won't go into detail as well, as not my story to tell. So maybe we'll get you in contact with Karen too, Nathan, and maybe be in touch with him and get another story. So
definitely, yeah.
Stories out there to build on. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Stories to tell, and
one thing I will say, when it comes to people that are out of state, those that do have camera equipment, they are encouraged to film their own session. Of course, on if they have lighting or whatever, but if they have friends or family that have film equipment, they are encouraged to film their own stuff, and send me the raw footage to put together. Because really, I've had people from all over the place film their own stuff and just send me the footage to edit. And it's amazing.
You can edit it and do all that stuff with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you're about to become my new best friend. I always need stuff edited. I swear, put together. Let's see. Karen says she knows many people in the UK with stories to tell. I bet. I think the UK has
the UK
a lot of stuff.
Hell, a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Bring them here.
If you've ever researched the UK and researched all the paranormal possessions, God, there's one house there where the dad killed the mom, and I can't remember how many other children, and buried them. They got all kinds of great stuff there, and not that it's supposed to be great, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, stuff
that stuff's cool.
Shocking,
activity.
Shocking, yeah, paranormal. For me, I'm saying great because that's what I'm into, not great as it's a wonderful thing that happened.
Things.
But yeah, research the UK. They got tons of stuff.
Maybe they'll film that one on location. That would be
right.
That would be amazing. One thing's for sure, we need you two on the show for sure. We need you two to be filmed and on the show.
I would love it. Love it. Let's
make it happen.
We have so many stories to tell. Me and her used to sit and just,
that's what got us into it. Because, you don't walk around telling everybody your experiences, right? Because they're weird. You're not like, oh, hey, by the way, it just doesn't happen. So then you find that person where you're like, okay, I'm going to tell you this, and it's going to sound really weird. And then you share it, and then the person's like, oh my God, wait till you hear this. So then you're like, okay, so we're one and the same. You have the same crazy stuff that's happened to you. So now I don't feel so uncomfortable sharing, my experiences. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. But we'll freak each other out sometimes. And I guess I could tell right now. I've never told you this, Kelly, so I'm gonna have to tell you this now on national TV.
Yeah, that'd be something, guys. That would be fabulous.
No, we were doing and I've been meaning to tell you, but you know me, I get forgetful. So remember when so we were doing this private investigation, and you guys, sometimes I'm honing. I come from a long line of psychics and stuff in my family. So Kelly was describing, something going on at our neighbor's house. And I told her, like, is there a cross on the left side? Remember, Kelly? And she's like, yeah. And I said, and the closet door is off to here. And I told her I'm seeing a shadow by the closet door. Remember all that? So I'm freaking Kelly out because I'm seeing the room, you know what I mean? And I'm describing to her the room. So to throw in a little thing, and I forgot to tell you, I was just kidding. I told her to watch her toes. Remember that? And you said you didn't sleep because I told
all
you.
Night
I was totally
long.
kidding about that.
I did not sleep all night long. Every time my toes would go out of the blanket, it would wake me up. So I was like stuffing the blanket over top of them. And I'm one of those people that sleep with my feet out. Like my feet have to be cold. Otherwise I'm not going to sleep. So I keep them covered, and then obviously I'd start to doze. Well, as I'm dozing, I have to stick my feet out all night long. I was up all night long. I forgot to tell
you that was just a joke. But I was like, well, we were already off the phone. And then when you told me you didn't sleep the next day, I'm like, I'll wait a couple more days to tell her, and I forgot about it.
Oh, just wait a year.
Yeah, so now you can take your socks off and enjoy your sleep again.
I actually forgot about that whole entire thing and eventually just went to sleep normal. You know what I mean? It fell out of my head, but for that whole night, it was in my head. I'm like, oh my God, something's going to touch my toes. So then you get that like visual of something coming underneath the bed. And you know what I mean? I'm like, oh God, I've regressed.
I know, when we hung up, I was like, tee.
That's all right. I got you. Remember that.
You guys are a mess.
We try. Okay, Kelly, we'll wind down the show shortly. Let's see. We got, Kelly, do weird things happen in your house? Because I'm seeing lots of orbs around you,
it's not orbs. I can actually see, and I'm not really quite sure why. I did have the door wall open earlier and it was really breezy, but I'm seeing, you guys can't see it, but I can actually see the dust. It's dust.
I want to see it for sure. Definitely see it.
I can see the little specks. Why they're flying up, where they're coming from, I don't know, but it's dust. Yeah.
Okay.
No, my house isn't that active, or we would be, I'm not saying that weird things haven't happened to you, but
she said, Kelly, who's the male spirit in your house?
Don't say that, Karen. It's not funny.
Well, she says, let's see. Whoops, sorry. You aware of him? Are you aware of a male spirit in your house?
I don't know what that means.
Ooh, I'm gonna bring my stuff there. Watch your toes tonight.
I don't know what's here. I just know that there is something from time to time. I don't know, male, female, have no clue, that kind of makes itself known. 5 o'clock in the morning, one morning, my partner was sleeping. I was sleeping. All of a sudden I heard my Alexa turn on, and I hear her talking, and I'm thinking, okay, why did my partner say something to Alexa? So I get up out of bed and I'm like, why are you talking to Alexa? She woke me up. And I see that they're sleeping. And so I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I go back to bed. Well, Alexa actually records when somebody talks to it. Oh. So I went back into, you can go into like your count and whatever. And at 5 something in the morning, something talked to the Alexa, and we were able to, I can't remember the phrase now. What's on the other, it said, her name, because Alexa's near me, and so she'll answer. What is on the other side? And I forget what that word is. And what is talking in my house at that time, talking to my Alexa. So that one was strange. One time I was just testing out. I'd gotten a watch that records EVPs. So I was testing it out, not expecting to get anything, and it was a real quick clip, a real quick test just to see if I could record him here. And lo and behold, within that 15 seconds, I caught something answering me. I'm like, oh my God, there's something here. So of course, I'm dramatic. I'm not sleeping here. That's it. Just a few weeks ago, I had my daughter here. We're both sitting in the living room, and she started to discuss, there was a friend of hers who had committed suicide. For whatever reason, we were discussing this incident and about how it took place. Very interesting story. You would actually, Nathan, love this story. The kid was hallucinating, thinking that he was talking to demons. There was stuff written all over the wall. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we were discussing about that topic, and all of a sudden my bathroom door just slams like hard shut slams. And I'm like, so here's me, the paranormal investigator. I'm like frozen. I'm like, oh my God, Hope, go see what that was. And she's like, right? And she's like, this is your house. You're the paranormal investigator. I'm like, I can't move. Go look. And so she goes down the hallway, and sure enough, the bathroom door is closed. I have no idea. I wanted to leave. I'm like, okay, we're leaving. That's it. We're leaving. We're going somewhere. I don't know. So odd little things. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, she says it's an older male comes in visitations. So you might want to talk to Karen a little bit more about that.
Is he like a good thing though? Is he like a the messengers? Is he like a messenger? What do you call those guys? They're called something. And
then Rusty just says it's because Kelly talks in her sleep. That's why Alexa went off. Don't let her fool you.
That's so funny.
Well, everybody, we went over, so that's
yes.
And you didn't get to use any of your notes. Look at that. One thing.
No, but I'm trying to find what those good messengers are. They're called like angel messengers. They're called something, but I don't know. So maybe that's what the guy is. That's what we're sticking with.
That angel messenger. I hope that's what she comes back messenger. With. Otherwise, I can see you being all freaked out.
Not sleeping tonight?
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, I like to torture her, you guys, because she tortures me back. Like, we had to do a fundraiser where they threw me in a cornfield, and I'm totally scared of cornfields. And Kelly's like, run around a cornfield. And we raised the money, so I had to go in the cornfield. But then they were hiding and scared me in the cornfield. So, yeah, so she gets everything I give her.
I could definitely take it, and I can definitely dish it out. So,
right.
Yeah. Thank
you, Cindy, for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. All right, guys, we're winding down. Anything you guys want to plug before we end this show? Nathan, Beth?
He can. Or he can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like opposite. Yeah.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah, just be on the lookout for the new upcoming series, My Paranormal Experience. It'll be streaming on the Cosm Network. I can't tell you when it'll come out, but just know that if you follow the page, my events page, My Paranormal Experience, you're going to be seeing our journey with us. We try to go live, quite frequently to connect with the fans, behind-the-scenes pictures, blooper reels, and everything that goes into what we're doing for this show. You guys are going to be a part of it, and like I said, if you guys have any story you want to tell, it doesn't matter how big the story is or what the topic is. It's wanted. We want to showcase you and have your story be told.
Yes. Awesome. So everybody get in touch with Nathan. And what is your Facebook page again for this?
My Paranormal Experience.
My Paranormal Experience, and we'll share all of this on our page as well. So, and thank you guys for both coming on with us tonight. We've had a blast.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome anytime. Yeah. Loved it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. You, like I said, hit me up with information, and we'll get you guys on as well. Like, I want you guys both on the show. Like, that's awesome. So
awesome. I would love that.
Awesome.
And yeah. I'm gonna reach out to you anyways because I want to talk about that documentary thing. So I got some cool stuff.
See, I can be the cameraman, Heather, and I can just record you, and then we're good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just put you guys off of here right now. See, I'm kind of new to this, so give me a second. If I kick you off, it's not on purpose. It's I have to learn how to do this now.
Oh, it's okay. We understand.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll see you guys later. Look at me learning. Okay. All right, Kelly. So that was a good show. We missed Callista in our trivia tonight. You know. All right, and I want to just reiterate what I said earlier. We are doing a giveaway. So what we're going to do, and we kind of gave the details, our teammate Sarah has donated 2 tickets to the Sadillac investigation that we have going on April 17th. So I said that right? April 17th? Yeah.
Yes.
So Chicks and Spirits is going to offer these tickets as a giveaway. So what you need to do is if you share Chicks and Spirits page, go ahead and let us know that you shared the page, and you will be entered in to the drawing. And we'll draw the names next week. So next week, we're going to be going into April. All serial killer month, you guys. We are going to have different guests on, and each guest, we are going to be doing serial killers in their state. So our guests are researching their state. Kelly and Callista is going to be researching the state, because you guys know I don't do that research stuff. I'm just here to go, what, huh, and do all of this stuff. But you know, I make the flyers and stuff. I do a lot of work, everybody, too. But they do the research. So Kelly and Callista do the research, and our guests, you know, we appreciate the research that they do. So we have, first coming up, we have Emma with the Spooky Girl. She is going to be coming on with us, and that is Kentucky. And then we have Amanda Lewis. She's going to be on the next week, and that would be Indiana serial killers. And then the next week, we got Virginia, my little niece. Chloe is going to be on. She is a serial killer enthusiast, is what I put on there, because she knows so much. Like, she's already got like so many names up, so she's super excited. So I think, and then we're looking for somebody in Michigan. So if you're in Michigan and you have know a lot and want to be on our show for serial killers in Michigan, reach out to me and Kelly, or Kelly. You don't have to reach out to us both. And let us know, and we will get you on to do Michigan. And that will be the last one of the month. I don't know if we're going to keep going on into May, but let's just rock it out for April. What do you think, Cal?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
And by the way, Michigan has a lot of them. So
good times. Are we just lucky? I'm so into serial killers and watch something happen to me, and I'll just be like, ooh, make sure my story's known.
You just come back and I'll find you. If either we'll make that pact. If either one of us, anything ever ends up happening to either one of us, we will find a way back to prove that there is life after, or that your energy goes somewhere or whatever.
Well, of course. But I'm just saying, like, if something does and there's like a dramatization, I can't even say that word right, make sure the person like looks worse than me that's doing that, because those dramatizations, I can't even say it, and the person's like so good looking, and then they go to the real person, you're like, oh, come on, I don't want people to say that about me. So like make them feel like, oh, she actually looked better in person. So that's my only request for that. Okay, Cal?
Okay, perfectly fine.
The stuff I worry about. All right, you guys, and this was a great show, and we'll see you guys next week. And ready, Cal?
As always,
stay spooky. Okay.